What is going on, Z Trader? Zeno Trader here, and today we are coming at you with your daily market recap. If you find any value in what it is that we do here, consider subscribing for more content and market updates. And if you wouldn't mind, destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Follow us on Instagram and join us live every day, Monday through Friday during market hours on our Discord server, where we have over $5,000 worth of learning materials, all for the wonderful price of, drum roll please, free 99. That's right, absolutely free. Come on down. The link to join will be posted, as always, in the description below. Be there or be square. Lastly, remember, this is not investment advice. This is educational purposes only. Don't hop into anything discussed here without your own due diligence, as these are not trading signals, but rather my thoughts on specific securities. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, folks. We are in the building today. Woo! Today. Oh, my goodness, today. We have got a lot of stuff to get into today. The Dow is down 17 points. That's nothing. It is looking like it did reject. It can't stay above the 200 MA. We had some pretty big volume for Friday here. We are still oversold and will continue to be until we get below 24,700, which, you know, the Dow, like I always tell you guys every day, we have no business being up here, but because of the stimulus measures and because the value of our money is being taken every day, it takes more of those same dollars to buy these same stocks. Think about it. There's nothing more inherently valuable about Apple, Google, Facebook, Amazon, Target. Nothing. It's not like they're blowing out, sales numbers, record. We have over 25, approaching $30 trillion economy as far as GDP is concerned. At some point, the amount of goods and services that we put out are not. There's a certain limit, and we're pushing the upper limits. There's only so many iPhones you can sell. Because there's only so many people in the world that can afford them, right? There's only so much money you can make. Your best bet is recurring income, but that's a topic for another discussion. The point I'm making is there's nothing more inherently valuable about any of these companies now than it was at the low of this dip. All right? And what you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is the daily 3-month chart. The lowest. There's nothing more inherently valuable about Apple now than it was then. All right? This is an example of injecting money into the economy. Cheap money sloshing around, central banks devaluing our currency. Think about it. Your house goes up in value. Or so they tell you. And I know I'm going off on a tangent, and I'm trying to keep these videos to 15 minutes, but I just have to say this. It's not that your house goes up in value. There's nothing more inherently valuable about the sheetrock and windows and appliances and floors and walls and fixtures in your house 10 years from now than it is today. That stuff didn't increase in value. What happened is that the dollars it takes to purchase that same house and those same materials have risen because the value of each dollar has decreased, so it takes more dollars to purchase the same stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, the same phenomena is what's occurring here. And it affects all asset classes, including stocks. That's the point of why they do it, to stabilize the financial system. So you see, there's nothing more inherently valuable about these companies. It's just that the currency, the value of the currency they are being traded in is losing value. And so it takes more of those same dollars to buy these assets. Check out SPY today. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Look at we had an end of the day rally. We were down. And we just are stubborn. We do not want to go back below the 200 MA. We have no business up here whatsoever. But because of stimulus hopes and unicorn tears and pixie dust and fairy magic and, the Jerome Powell and his, printer, go Burr, that's why we're up here. Yeah, we got the hopes and everything's opening back up and this and that and the third. But honestly, we're a long way off from where the economy was at the at the peak of our, well, I don't even know if you want to even call this the peak of our powers, because this was all share buybacks and, earnings manipulation and whatever have you. I mean, we were due for correction and we got one. But this is all BS, folks. Know that. Now, I'm not saying bet against it, because obviously you don't want to bet against the trend, because the powers that be have decided that it's better to devalue our currency than to allow the economy than to allow the stock market to realistically reflect the reality of the economy that we currently find ourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. So it is what it is. We won't spend any more time talking about this, except to say, once we look on TradingView, what do you know? Check it out. We're at R3. Got rejected from R3. So we got a little bit more room to run. One or two things could happen next week. Either we run up to R4 and crash back down, or we break through R4. And you know what? I'm not even going to rule that out. There was a time where I said, there's no way in hell we're going to break through R4. This is ridiculous. Come on. Nope. Not going to even rule it out. Because SPY going to SPY. And I learned the hard way, don't bet against SPY. And we'll get into that in just a second. So, yeah. I mean, look, if I were you, if you want to be ultra conservative, which you should be, especially if you don't have a lot of money to play around with, SPY puts under R2, which is 301, we'll call it, with volume, I'm sorry. If you're looking for calls, we actually need to get up above 303.12 with volume. Remember, hourly candlesticks with 5-minute confirmations, as well as, if you can find one, a confirmation from MACD and RSI and VIX. Got to keep your eye on VIX, because if VIX is as long as VIX is dumping, you're good. If you start to see VIX pumping while SPY is going up, get the hell out. All right? Got to keep your eye on VIX if you're going to trade SPY. And we have an interesting story about that here today. So, let's get to it. We bought SPY calls. And I posted a video about this earlier in the chat when it was happening, because I thought it was an interesting story to tell. I religiously preach about hourly candles because, to me, they are, without question, very dependable. I've had better experience with hourly candles than any other type of candles. So, me and my bad self, right, thought I was doing something. I saw SPY coming down. What is this? R2. I saw SPY approaching R2. I was like, holy shit, dude. I can get some calls right here and make a killing. This mother sucker is going to bounce. And then I was looking at all the other metrics, and I'm like, yo, bro, we about to be in the building. We about to be in there like swimwear. So I came over here, looked at the 5-minute chart, and let me go back to about what time that was. I think it was a green. Wait, I got to make sure this is 5 minutes. Okay. I think this was it over here. Let me see, what time was it? Yeah, it was definitely earlier on in the day. I know that. And then it was like a pin bar. Oh, here it is, right here. Was it 10:25 a.m.? Yep, this was it right here. So me thinking, okay, we about to bounce, right? We got the pin bar closed, and then I waited for this candle to open, and I opened green. I'm like, oh yeah, we about to be in the building. And I'm looking at this chart, and it bounced, right? And then this candle, it bounced. This candle closed, right? But then on the next candle, as you can see, yeah, it closed green eventually, but it went down. And at this point, I think I was down like $2,000, right? But I was paying attention to VIX, and VIX was not dumping hard at the time. And I'm like, And then I'm looking at the other chart, and I'm just like, this doesn't, And then I'm looking over here, and I'm like, well, we still got a little bit of ways to go. And I was so tempted to cut this position. I was about to get out and just take a loss. I think at the peak, it was almost a $3,000 loss. But I trusted my analysts. And as you can see over here, like boom, it got even worse. Got worse, but came back up. And I ended up holding, and then I sold somewhere around here. I didn't even stick around for any of this. I just wanted to get the hell out of the trade. I made a few $100 off it, but coming back from being down 200, I wasn't even trying to. I was just like, as long as I could break even, or like, just I need to just get out this trade, right? So I was right. I just got in too early, but I didn't panic because I trusted my analysts of what was going to happen, and it turns out I was right. Now, if I wouldn't have got out like around here, I could have held on and, kept making some money. But I was like, nope. And I didn't even need to do that today because Zoom was the big hero of today. So, this was nice and everything, but I didn't really need it. But see, that's a lesson that I really want to drive home to everybody, is that you really, really have to do your due diligence. You really have to pay attention, and you got to know what you're doing, and you got to trust the process and trust your analysts. Like, understand that millions of other traders around the world are looking at the same chart you're looking at. Around that means they're going to buy down here and in here somewhere. That means they're going to want to sell up here somewhere, right? See, the problem with most traders is that we buy the noise in between the supply and demand zones. That's no bueno. I've lost tens of thousands of dollars in the market during my trading career, and chasing, succumbing to the FOMO demons. You see something popping real fast. Oh, hurry up, get on. And then you get in, and then it drops. And then you look at the chart, right? Or then you see somebody call something out in chat, and you're like, oh, yeah, let me get in it. And you don't even dissect it on the chart, and you get in, and then you realize you bought in up here. See, the goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to buy low and sell high. One of the things that helped me become a better trader is to recognize when the ship has sailed and when I missed a bus, and accept it and just wait for the next one. See, when you try to get on the train or bus after it leaves, that's deadly in real life, and it's deadly in training too, to your wallet. You will lose money the bulk of the time doing that. Because if you look at where you buy in, right? If the stock's already run up, it's over. I mean, you're gonna buy it at a pivot, and it's gonna get rejected off of a resistance level, and then you're gonna be out of a. So pay attention to where you buy at, what price level to where you buy at. Matter of fact, set limit orders for for supply zones down here, right? If you look at the chart, you can clearly see where the supply zone is on SPY. So all I would do is, if you want to be ultra conservative, set an alert. Hey, if SPY hits 298, you know, fill me up. Or, hit an alert, set an alert or alert that'll let you know, hey, SPY just hit 298. It might be time to look for some calls. Depending on the circumstances, still got to look at the chart, but at least you know it's time to start looking for some calls. Same thing up here. Might want to look for some puts potentially if we don't bust through this with volume and keep going. That's why you got to look at the chart, because everything's situational. But everything between this is chop, and we don't trade chop. We only trade supply and demand zones, and that's how you become a more profitable trader, right? So let's get into the plays, folks. And I know that's what everybody came to see. So check it out. One of the things, like I said, zoom. Man, I talked about this on an earlier video, and basically I set an alert for this play 2 weeks ago, and my phone just went off this week for this play. I had no idea Zoom had earnings. I had no idea what was happening with Zoom. I hadn't been following it, but I just set an alert. If Zoom falls below this price, let me know. I got the text message on my phone. I looked at it. I pulled up the chart. I said, holy shit, Zoom is like at the low. And I got in. But this isn't a picture of that. This is a picture of me earlier today around 2:57. Zoom had plummeted. Now, mind you, I didn't really care because I had bought Zoom. Let me show you. I had bought Zoom a long time ago. So, I mean, that move didn't even shake me out because I didn't just get in. Now, for a lot of people who would have just got in, you would have got shook out. So, I bought Zoom somewhere in here. So that little bloop up there ain't make me no difference. This is the 5-day chart, by the way. So yeah, I bought Zoom like no, I'm sorry, because we were down. It was hold on, wait. Yeah. Because I got the alert on my phone somewhere in here, but I didn't buy the calls until like somewhere in here because I wanted the confirmation. So I got the confirmation on the 5-minute chart. But then I held from that point on. And then I found out that they had earnings. I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm holding until the earnings, at least up until. I'm not going to hold it, even though I think they'll beat, but you don't know what the hell is going to happen. So held it. Boom. This is how you make the gains, folks. Scalping is nice, but there's nothing like this, bro. You can't do this scalping unless there's some extraordinary miracle, right? Do yourselves a favor. Go through stocks, set supply and demand zones, set price targets, let your phone go off, and all you got to do is come evaluate the chart. And if it's rejecting from a support, get some calls. If it's rejecting from a resistance, get some puts. But you got to get the confirmation on the hourly and 5 candles first. And then you got to be aware of where VWAP is and be aware of the various MAs and the volume and RSI and all that stuff. Those are in confirmations too. But yeah, because it's not ever any one thing that makes or breaks, or like there's no one indicator that says, okay, you're gonna win if this is like, it doesn't work that way, right? So, but back to the subject, this little drop right here that scared everybody to death. Now, if you were looking at this on Webull, you wouldn't have saw that the 50 MA was right here. You would have been just like, oh my God, I gotta get out. But if you look at it on different charts, you can see, and then you can see it was oversold. So, you know, this is just something to shake people out of the market. You know how many people sold right here and lost? I held animanium balls of steel, and then look. And I was at the end of the day, I was contemplating. I was like, should I hold this until Monday or should I get the hell out? And then it occurred to me to just look at the other charts. So what I did was I came over here and I said, let's look at the levels. I said, holy shit, we're at R1. What if we reject? I'm not going to take no chances. So as soon as it broke R1, I sold my one contract in my small account challenge account, and then I sold off 3 contracts because I had 5 left of the contracts I bought in my regular account, and then I sold them off. And now I'm just holding 2 over the weekend. So whatever happens, I'm Gucci. I'm good. It don't even matter. Like those contracts, Zoom could go to 0. I still book the profits. But that brings me back to this. Most people would have saw this and panicked and ran. Like I said, you don't see the 50 EMA right here on the Zoom, you know, charts in Webull. So you don't know how far this was going to go. And most people sold out, got shook out. Not me, held, boom, in the building, right? So then check out what happens after that candle. Imagine selling down there. Oh my goodness. In fact, what you should have done was people who were looking for an entry should have got in right there. Even this little move right there, you would have been in the building. Bang, look at that. Ouch. See, that's why you got to know what you're doing, folks. And then like if you look at look at this. On May 14th, and this is the small account challenge, I had $21.52 in this account. I want that to register, and I want that to resonate with you. $21.52. This is why I'm partial to options over equities. I love equities too. That's long term, you know, retirement, you know, you got to beat inflation. I get all that. But options, it's not even close, man. It's not even close. Today at 4:04 p.m., 153% today. $181 in a single day. And this is a teeny tiny account, right? Check it out. Over the past week, 240, up 404% over the past week in this small teeny account. Look at that. That is outrageous. There's no way you could have done this with equity. It would be virtually impossible to do this with equity. You'd have to buy like a penny stock and hope it goes to the freaking moon. Good luck with that. So this was at 238. One contract. I paid 50 cents for this contract. $0.50. Just imagine. So in other words, 50 bucks this contract cost me. Just imagine if I would have bought 30 of these So $50. So that would have been $1,500, right? So like that's insane. $1,500 times 376. Like that. Like I'm hoping you guys understand what that there's power behind what we do here, and a lot of people, try to, may take this for granted. But if you know what you're doing, you can change your life. You really can change your life. So in my TOS account, sold out of the last of Salesforce today. It was very disappointing, but whatever. I had sold the majority of it yesterday, so this was just a BS swing. Everything else was profit anyway. This was house money, so who cares, right? Spotify, shout out to Rammer, man. Shout out to Rammer. He asked me, he slid in my DMs and asked me about what I thought about Spotify. I went over to the chart, analyzed it real quick, chopped it up, bang, bang, bang. I was like, wait a minute, there's a pennant, a bullish pennant on this chart. And then just when I was making the video to send to him to analyze it, it started popping out. I was like, oh no, I ain't gonna miss this. Ran over, got me some calls real quick in the building. Shout out to Rammer. Yeah, boy. Spy. Like I told you guys, I was down like $2,000, $3,000 on this call. It was the correct position at the wrong time. And fortunately, it was the correct position, and I ended up being able to make it out with a $300 profit instead of a $3,000 loss. Knowing what you're doing, people. Zoom, the hero of today. Yes, indeedy. I only got 2 contracts left. Sold everything off at various targets throughout the day. Came through in the clutch. Hopefully it continues on next week. If not, oh well. We're good to go. Great week. Great way to finish the week. This is unbelievable. I'm telling you, folks, I'm a regular person. I'm not a stock guru. I'm not an options guru. I have a background with financial services, and I've always had a love interest with finance, but I'm not by any means anybody, a financial analyst or anything. It's just simple. You have to discipline your emotions, and everything has to be reduced to processes. You have to think like an Excel sheet formula. If then, that's the simplest way I can reduce it for you. If then, if Zoom hits this, then I get calls or puts. If Zoom does this, then I do this. If this, then that. Treat it as an Excel spreadsheet formula. Remove your emotions, and that will help you big. Treat it as, like I said, if then. That's your formula. If such and such goes here, I do this. If such and such touches this, I do that. If that's all it is, it's an if then. Take all your emotions out of it and treat it as an if then equation. Supply and demand zones. Don't trade in between channels. If you see a stock just doing this in between the support and resistance levels, don't trade it. I don't care how much it might move, how quickly it might move to the up or downside. Stay away from it, especially on 5-minute candles. These are hourly candles we're looking at, but especially on 5-minute candles. No FOMO. Try to eliminate FOMO as much as you can. FOMO is a demon, and it will rob your account of all your gains. That's why I made the decision to get out of Zoom on my small account challenge, because I ain't come that far to go back. I was like, I could have been greedy and held till Monday, but look, you know what I mean? Zoom is down a little bit after hours. I have no doubt that it may continue Monday, but if I wasn't going to sell it today, I was damn going going to get out Monday, because let me tell you something. We don't know what the hell is going to happen on earnings, and I'm not going to be. I'm not. I got burnt too many times. It could go through the roof, and we could miss out on a few $1,000s. Yeah, okay, whatever. I've made all the money I came to get, and that's it, and I'm good. It shattered my expectations. Between Take-Two and Zoom this week, I think I've made because I think we talked about this in the video last week. I showed my P&L for all time year to date for Take-Two. I think it was like 13,000, and then we got 9. I got it. Hold on. Dang, I wish I would have thought to pull this up. But anyway, I'll do the math and I'll post it in chat. But yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, this week was a great week. We controlled FOMO. We stayed away from our emotions. We kind of messed up here and there, but for the most part, we finished the week strong. Looking forward to next week. Please do yourselves a favor. Try to get better every day. Study. Look at some charts this weekend. Try to find some plays, some opportunities. We'll be in the chat this weekend live. That's all the time we have for today. Remember, plan your trades and trade your plan. Bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Follow us on Instagram and join our Discord chat where we're live until 5 and we do something before 2 something. The links are in the description below. Until next time, Zeno Trader